Yo, 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 welcome to the show. Welcome to the Social Sunshine Podcast, episode 187. I'm your hostess, Britney Crosson. What's up? Welcome to another episode. Today's episode is for all of you social media managers out there. If you are a social media manager, if you want to be a social media manager, or if one of the many hats you wear at work is social media manager, this episode is for you. If you know, you know. Here's the thing about this. I have never devoted an episode of the Social Sunshine podcast to social media managers. What in the fuck is wrong with me? This is episode 187. I have been doing this for 3.5 years. Holy crap. Better late than never. But honestly, what's really brought this into the front of my mind lately, talking more to social media managers, is because of the social media manager program that we have recently launched in my company, Fun Love Media. So I own a social media and podcasting agency called Fun Love Media, based here where I am in Houston, Texas. We are also kind of spread out all over the place, working remotely, my team and I, but we do social media work, we do podcasting work, we do design work, but we really wanted to have this social media manager program to help people become social media managers and then join our team. Right? Because for me, it's personal. Like, I started as a social media manager over a decade ago. I started doing this work whenever I was working in the family business. You may know I started working for my dad whenever I was 16 years old. The business is still running to this day because of him and my brother. It's called Signal Electronics in Freeport, Texas. And starting out social media management there was cool because I could just explore. Like, social media was new. I think it was like 2010 whenever I got the business on Facebook, and it just was like my job to figure it out, right? Like, I don't know, just figure this out, Brittany. Like, this is something that you like to do, right? Because I loved MySpace before that. I was obsessed with MySpace. I know I'm aging myself, but I don't care because it was so good. Remember how you could have like music on your page, like when somebody came to your page, like your whatever song you wanted was playing, like it like represented you. Oh, that's like early days of personal branding online, right? Anyway, okay, so I was doing Facebook for the family business back in like 2010 and posting there and figuring it out. And then one thing led to another. I kept going, kept exploring, kept learning. I started vlogging, I started blogging. I got to where I was on social media all the time. And I had business owner friends start to ask me, like, can I just like pay you to do this for me? Because I don't like it and I don't want to do it myself. Excuse me. And I was like, okay, great. So I became a social media manager over the years without really realizing that that's what I was becoming. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. And so I have this personal connection with it because it turned into now what is a boutique agency. We have clients that we help, and I have a team of 5, and we do really great work, and I love it so much. And I thought, wait a minute, how can I like make this a thing where we help other people have a similar experience to what I had as a social media manager? Because it's such a cool career. It's creative, and it's like it's flexible in a sense that like you can build it the way you want to build it, and it can be a part of your life. Like, you don't have to clock in and out, from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. It can be like this thing that works into your life. It's really, really quite fantastic. And so a long time ago, I thought of this concept of having a social media manager program. And I was like, okay, you know how to do this really good, Brittany, like with your fucking eyes closed. Like, you could help people do this. Why are you not doing that? And I was also inspired by a client of mine. I'm going to give them a shout out. My Face Lady. They are a Fun Love Media client. We do their social media management and their email marketing. And they have a similar business structure where they help people become injectors, like to do aesthetic injections like Botox and such, and different kinds of treatments, skin treatments and things. And they have a similar structure where they help people create a career out of that. They teach them and help them and guide them. And then these injectors can go out into the wild and like find patients and, and treat them, and it be this kind of cool, flexible thing in their life. So it was really inspiring to me This was a while back whenever the light bulb went off. And so we've recently launched the Fun Love Media social media manager programs. I'm really, really proud of that. And we already have our first person in the program, and we actually have a second and a third lined up about to be coming in. So there's lots of good stuff happening. And I want to talk more to social media managers because it's what I do. It's my trade, my skill, if you will. It's like, it's my thing that started all of this. And I love it. And I want to help other people build the career. So I wanted to have a multi-part series on Social Sunshine about this. This is the first of quite a few episodes where I'm going to really specifically talk to social media managers. And this one is honestly probably the most important topic out of all of them, and it's mindset. And before you roll your eyes, listen to me. I have a reason. I'm telling you, I've been doing this shit for over a decade, and this is the best advice I could give you when it comes to being a social media manager. I have two things that I'm going to go over that have to do with mindset as a social media manager. And I want you to listen and really soak it in. And look, if you're not a social media manager, this is going to benefit you. If you're creating on social media, you're still going to get the benefits from this episode. But I just really wanted to come from this angle as a social media manager, okay? Doing, client work. So the first one, there's two things. The first one is flexibility. And there's multiple ways you got to be flexible. If you want to be a really excellent social media manager, you have to have a flexible part of your mindset. You have to know that there are so many fucking variables when it comes to social media. Anybody that's created things on social media knows that. Things on the platforms change, features change, they get added, they get taken away. There's updates, there's glitches, there's trends, there's all kinds of shit happening and so many moving parts. And if you are not flexible, then this is not the career for you. Trust me, because you have to know that. You can have all of your stuff organized, you can have all of your stuff the way you hope it goes and all that. But in the back of your mind, you still have to have that little bit of flexibility and go, but even though I've got a good plan, I know that shit could happen. Things could change. A feature could completely go away. A sound you were going to use could completely go away for a video. Like you don't have control over all those things. If that's a problem for you, don't become a social media manager. But as long as you can go into it and take it in stride, it's going to be fine. So keep that in mind. Now, also when it comes to flexibility, this is important because this is about clients. You have to be flexible with your clients. Now, this does not mean let them walk all over you and don't have boundaries and blah blah blah. Of course, look, that you've got to have your rules and things structured. We have that at Fun Love Media. We have things that are in the agreement for our clients to say, like, this is how this is supposed to work. This is how this is supposed to work. This is what we will do. This is what we won't do. Of course, you've got to have some sort of organization and structure for your client, but you also have to know that there's going to be things that even they can't control that happen. Like, what if it's a restaurant and you have this great post, this great video that you made for them that's going to go up next Tuesday, and they love the video and everybody's excited about the video, right? And it's going to go up next Tuesday. But then Tuesday comes along and their fucking power goes out and they have to close down for the rest of the day. Well, that video that was about like come in today, Tuesday specials at the restaurant, right? It's really no longer relevant because they have no power and they're closing down for the rest of the day, which is horrible. And therefore, you have to be flexible and you have to know that that's probably got to get taken down. You can use it next Tuesday. You're going to have some sort of a post on hand that's ready for whenever things do go wrong in the business. If they do lose power, whatever kind of business it is, to be able to post as some sort of announcement to their followers. And like, that was not planned and you didn't have that as part of something you were going to do that day. But you know what? It just shit happens. And that's not anything that the client did to you or to cause you any sort of a problem. That's just shit happening. So that's what I mean by flexibility. You have to have this mindset of like, I've got to go into this having this flexibility, knowing that things can change, totally accepting that and embracing that, because the sooner that you do, the much more smooth everything is going to go and the much less stressful the job is going to be. Now, like I said, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that you don't have structure, that you don't have rules, that you don't have a process, that you don't have organization. You always have that. You always want to have all of that, but you just have to know that you always have to also be flexible just in case shit hits the fan or changes, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen. All right. All right. So, flexibility, that's the first. Now, the second and final one I'm talking to you about today is attitude. A good attitude, by the way, in life, right, is going to take you so fucking far, so fucking far. But specifically as a social media manager, a good attitude is going to just make your world a better place for you to be. You're doing this honestly for yourself. It's not just for your clients, it's for you because you're going to feel better about things whenever your attitude is good. And what I mean by that is you're going to have scenarios where something is, a pain in the butt, something is inconvenient, it's going to happen. There is a last minute change, kind of like how we talked about with flexibility, or there is something that was like an obstacle or a bump in the road, or you posted something and something wasn't quite right, and like you think maybe nobody will notice it, but really the right thing is to fucking take it down and repost it, and god damn it, you don't fucking want to, but you fucking should, so do it. Like, these things all come along with good attitude. And when you go into being a social media manager, or if you've already been one, let's make some shifts if we need to, right? With a good attitude, it's going to make your life and your work so much less stressful. But also, in addition to that, which is very important, but also important, is that it's going to make people want to work with you, like want to keep working with you. The thing about being a social media manager is that it's, you know, organic social media activity is a long game. For all the business owners out there, this is something that's like, here to stay, and you're just going to like do it forever. Okay. No exaggeration. And so when you're a social media manager, what that means is that you need people to work with you for a long time. Like, maybe not every client has to stay with you until the end of time, but you really need to average a really good length of time. I think the average that I've had on clients with like when I was freelancing, and then also now with it being an actual agency the past 4+ years, I think the average amount of time that a social media management client has worked with me is like more than 18 months. And that's good. Like, that's what you want. You want people sticking around for a long time. And if you have a shitty fucking attitude, they're not going to. So this is not a one and done. This is not like, oop, I sold you something to make my money. This is a relationship game. This is an ongoing thing. We make progress together. We evolve together. The brand evolves. Everything evolves. It's just the way it works. It's the nature of the beast, and it's cool. It's supposed to evolve, right? And if you have a shitty attitude, then people aren't going to want to evolve along with you on this journey. And it matters. Again, it really matters with this work. You want people working with you for chunks of time, a minimum of 6 months at a time, preferably a year. So when you have the good attitude, that's like you're going into it like, oh, some shit went down. Okay, it's cool. I'm here to help out. Like, they just want someone to solve the problem. And honestly, that goes for like pretty much any kind of service that you sell. The client just wants you to solve the problem. Just solve it, handle it, right? And that's what you're doing as the social media manager. And look, there are going to be times whenever you either can't handle it, right? Maybe it's something out of your control, out of your skill set, or it's not within your agreement and it's something that would not be a simple little favor you could do to help them. It would be like something that would kind of, cause a large inconvenience to you and not be fair to you if you did this extra thing they ask of you, right? Well, you can approach that in such a peaceful, cool way and still have a good attitude. Tell them, no, we can't do this, but still have a good attitude. So Megan, the wonderful director of design for Fun Love Media, also producer on this show, you guys have probably seen Megan, heard Megan on the show, all the things. she talks about like compliment sandwiches. Like it's cool to like, give a compliment, then insert maybe the little bit of like constructive criticism, and then maybe follow it up with another little nice compliment or something after that. You can use these kind of like tactics and approaches to communication with your clients. So that way, even when you do have to say, well, um, no, I really can't do that. I don't know how to do that. Or, well, it would cost a little extra. Like there's just ways to have your good attitude still intact, even when you are in those scenarios where something's like happening or kind of off, or maybe even going a little wrong. So and I understand there's, where it's right now as I'm recording this, it's May 2023, and it's a big thing that's talked about out there, about like boundaries and burnout and and all these things. But there's a difference between like having a boundary, right? Just a normal boundary or rule or process of how you do things, versus being like, um, nope, can't do it. Sorry. Nope, clocking out at 5 o'clock on the dot. You better not fucking text me at 5:02. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. There's a difference. And if you can perfect that art of having a good attitude, um, in the midst of all of those kinds of things, you're going to be a fantastic social media manager. So, again, it was flexibility and good attitude. I'm going to continue on talking more and more about this in the coming episodes, and I'm going to dive into some more detailed stuff on actual tasks and things and organization of your clients' content and all of the things that come along with being a social media manager. But I felt like it was just super important to talk about mindset first, because if you're trying to decide to become a social media manager, or if you are one and it's been kind of rough and maybe things aren't going so well, look at the mindset stuff. Be honest with yourself. Are you being flexible, and do you have a good attitude? And again, like I said, it's not about, oh, let people walk all over you and don't have any boundaries at all. Yeah, of course you can't, but you still have to have these traits. They go along with this career. And if you want to be excellent at this and you want to go in there and be creative and create content for people and post it for people and manage their stuff and really help them like evolve this brand into something really, really cool, and then also have this flexible life that you can have as a social media manager, you really have to. You have to be flexible and you have to have a good attitude. Okay. If you want more information about our social media manager program at Fun Love Media, all you've got to do is email me, Britney at funlovemedia.com. It's BRITNEY at funlovemedia.com. But you can also follow me on social media. Just look at my name, Britney Crosson. You can follow Fun Love Media. You can follow the show, the Social Sunshine Podcast. We are on all of the things all over the place. So just search us up and find us. If you have any questions, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to answer your questions anytime. It's no problem at all. And I hope that this was helpful. I look forward to sharing even more stuff with you for social media managers. And that's it. That's a wrap. Thanks for listening to episode 187. Have a good day. Wait, hang on. Let's redo the ending. Thanks for listening to episode 187. I'll talk to you later.